Hey fam, how y'all doing? My name is Franklin and welcome to Orgaysis. Today we're playing Psychic Connections, and I believe last time we settled on what Quinn was going to do. He was going to move into our room, and we already talked to Zoe and all that good. So we'll continue from there. Quinn, I got a date to go to, Quinn. While definitely a pleasant thing to picture, it is difficult to imagine the two of them being willing to do such a thing. I know what you're thinking. Hard to imagine, right? Aiden would be all, ugh, I don't want to get filthy mud and this filthy mud water, get in this filthy mud water. Or he's talking about his vision about Aiden and Jude skinny dipping together. Meanwhile, Jude would be all, I'm not getting there with him or with any of you watching. Oh, okay. You know better than I would, but I think you're probably right. I know I'm right. Those two keep walking around with sticks up their stupid butts. Okay. The two of us laugh, and time flies by before we know it, as we continue chatting away about little nothings like that. Hey Zoe, come on in. Great, you both still here. Not for long. I told Mason he should go on his date. Ooh. Whoa, who said it was a date? It was supposed to definitely a date. Absolutely. Well, your tail was drooping when you mentioned canceling, and you're blushing now at the idea of it being a date. It's a date. Oh, are we keeping you from a special someone? Absolutely, you are. Yes. No, I'm just meeting up with Elliot. I'll only be gone for a few hours. For a few hours. I'll be back. I'm not gonna stay over. I promise. I ain't going back to his place. I see. Well, don't do anything I wouldn't. Considering you basically broke into my room when we met, I'm not sure what you wouldn't do. Hey, it's not breaking in if you have a key. That was a calculated decision. Right. Go on, get. I'll meet you after my class and after your date. Look, it's not whatever. It's a date, Mason. Go get you some. Um, I'm not sure why I'm trying to explain myself to them. They're the types to keep poking fun until I leave anyway. Claudius. After a quick jog, I head off campus to meet Elliot, my mind still lingering on Quinn. I need to get my head on straight. Elliot is perceptive. He's bound to notice if I'm distracted. Besides, I'm actually a little excited. It's been a while since anyone's taken me out to eat, date or not. It's a date. It's a date, and it's with Elliot, so it's a date. The hot cup. Okay. Getting to the cafe, I see Elliot standing out front, staring at his phone and wearing a shirt I've never seen before. Elliot, we told him a color. Oh, okay. Mason, wow, you actually came. What do you mean I actually came? Am I late? Am I late? He's so cute. Let's just pause. Hide? Hide. Let's just pause and admire this whole design, his whole look, his whole fit, the gleam in his eyes, all of it. Yeah, why wouldn't I? No reason. Shall we get going? Sure, lead the way, sir. If you're older or whatever, I'm down. Seems nervous for some reason. It's kind of cute. He's really cute. Like this face, I'm here for it. So, where is it we're going exactly? Oh, it's this cute little diner called Betsy's. It's on the corner of Fifth Avenue. I had trouble choosing a place, but I know Betsy's is sure to have something you like. Sounds good. I'm guessing you've been there before. I'm sorry, I'm blushing right now. Like let me just. I'm friends with the owner though. I haven't stopped by in a while. Yeah, it's not working. It's so easy to get wrapped up in work and all the shenanigans Zoe ropes us all into. I feel like people keep mentioning this. Can you all say no? Oh, sure, we could, but then we found ourselves in some kind of half-baked scheme to bond us together. Oh, oh my. Plus, some of her ideas aren't half bad, though getting something both Jude and Aiden enjoy is an impossible mission. I'll bet they seem like polar opposites. Neither of them would admit it, but they actually are more similar than they think. How so? For starters, they both try to be loners, but they also try to help others in their own way. Aiden uses his money and influence to support the group, and Jude never says no whenever you ask him for help. That being said, that doesn't mean he won't voice complaints while helping. Is that your way of saying Jude complains a lot at work? Only about how I interact with customers and how I should fire some of the other employees. Give him more hours. Give him that money. In a way, he isn't wrong. I just don't have it in me to fire some of those kids. They really need the job. I don't know. What do you think? It's sweet. It's a little concerning. It's sweet. Wait, which part? His part? Elliott's part? If it's Elliott's part, it's sweet. Like, you're trying to look out for people. I think it's nice that you're willing to give people a chance. Yes, not a lot of people would be willing to do that. Now, if they keep breaking stuff, fire them. Like, you ain't trying to stay here. Like, why aren't you practicing at home how to hold them dishes? You better practice them waiter hands. I just want to be able to help. I know I would have killed for a job when I was their age, right? You sound like an old man when you say it like that. One of my friends do that. They be making like old man jokes stuff like that. I'm just like, sweetie, like you be triggering alarm bells. I'm just like, sweetie, you're not that old. You really are not. Sometimes I feel like an old man. I'm in my 30s now, which is hard to accept. You're not old. You're not old. You're not. You're not. 30s is not old. Oh, this is it right here. My eyes follow his raised finger towards the corner of the street until I see the sign for Betsy's. Walking towards the door, Elliot briefly quickens his pace to get in front of me. He pulls the door open and gestures towards me. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm down. I'm down. You wanna woo me, honey. After you. As we enter the diner, the first thing I smell is burgers and fries. I can feel myself salivating from the scent alone. Hell yeah. I follow Elliot to a table and we're quickly met by a waitress. Howdy, folks. What can I get for you? Hey, Sydney. Is Betsy in? No, she's been out with a cold the last few weeks. Damn. Oh, that's too bad. Did you want your casual? Your usual. Your usual? Yes, please. Oh, but Mason here is new, so he may need a couple minutes. Now I'm sure I could pick something quick. My eyes swiftly scan the menu, trying to find something that sounds good, and I settle on the first thing that catches my eye. I'll have a double stacked burger with fries. Sure thing, cutie. It's like, yes, I like to eat. Okay. Yes, I like to eat. I like to throw down. I'm not, but I ain't trying to like run up your bill. Let me know what the budget is. Sure thing, sweetie. I have that right up for the both of you. Woo, that shocked look. The waitress walks away. Elliot just looks at me with what I can only guess is surprise. You sure you want to get that? Not saying you can't eat, but normally the guys that order the double stack are twice your size. Don't worry about it. Is it really that big? It is a small business diner. Like, their burgers be big, y'all. So maybe massive, he says. Even I'd have to be pretty hungry to finish one. Well, I guess I'll have leftovers then. Right, nothing wrong with that. Elliot looks at me and I look back at him. As we look at one another, a strange silence seems to fall between us. Normally, he has some kind of quick line, but he seems less talkative today for some reason. I should think of something to say. We're going through this whole date. Screw the type. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Alar Sama is not happening. Shirt. I like your shirt. Is it new? Oh, this? No, I've got another just like it in my closet. I just thought it might be nice to change things up. Yes. Okay. I'm usually wearing the same couple of shirts and pants for work. And here I thought suspenders and coffee brown pants were just your idea of fashion. Elliot rolls his eyes playfully at me, but I catch a glimpse of his tail twitching slightly at his side. So, yeah. Crap, we're falling to another awkward silence. Not the weather. Not the traffic. Ugh, God. I don't watch sports, so I'm not gonna say that. Traffic. We walked here. Like, let's go with weather. Let's go with weather. Let's go with weather. This happens sometimes when there's like an age gap. Like, you're in two different parts of your lives, so it's like you might not have the same things to talk about. I'm gonna go with weather because we walked here, and I don't do sports. It's a nice day, I suppose. Sorry, that was actually really dumb. I'm just trying to think of things to say. No, no, I'm sorry. I invited you here. I probably should be the one leading the conversation. Normally, I have more to talk about, but weirdly enough, I'm finding myself at a bit of a loss. It's been a while since I've been out with anyone as cute as you. Oh, so you're struck. You're awestruck. Okay. Well, it didn't take long for him to start back up with flirting with me. I can't say I haven't gotten used to it. That so from his face, I don't see it as his usual flirting. It's just like I'm just that cute that he don't want to fuck up. Like that's all. Though somehow it still catches me by surprise. Is that your fallback where you can't think of things to say? You just return the compliments? Sometimes. Though for whatever reason, I rarely to make it to the first date. Maybe because that's what you resort to all the time, but let's not unpack that. Really? You don't strike me as the type to struggle getting a date. I know. Elmwood's most eligible bachelor struggles for whatever reason. I guess I come off as too forward and I tend to really only attract men looking for one thing. I'm glad he's saying it. Cause did I say we are gonna talk about it way back, way back? So we're gonna talk about it when we talk about it. But yeah, you've been you was attracting them hoes. You gonna try no disrespect. You want just want to get you some. But with the way you was acting, it just felt like you just wanted sex, and I'm not about it. I might want like a friends with benefit situation with somebody. I might want to just hook up with just somebody. But if you want a relationship, you gotta treat people like you want to be in a relationship with them. Like that's what you're seeking. Even if it's just dating, treat them like you want to date them instead of you just want to bang them. You know. Well, with how flirty Elliot acts, it's not too surprising to think most people meet him expecting some extra fun. Like, I get it. Like, you turning up your charm, but you're still not trying to sling it at just anybody. Well, don't expect me to be putting out anything like that after a single lunch date. Maybe it was orange chicken. Let me stop. Oh, of course not. You need a bit more finesse than it's a cutoff. Okay. Oh, of course not. You need a bit more finesse than a burger and fries. I'd imagine candles and Elliot stops talking and allows the gears in his head to turn for a minute before a Cheshire grin spreads across his face. So this is a date then? Yes. Huh? I mean, I guess. You don't sound too sure. I'm sure. When we're out to eat alone, we're both getting to know one another. Is that not a date? It could be. Though, let's say no for now. Call me old fashioned, but I'll let you know when I'm extra on a date. He's not the first character I've seen that did this. Password. Okay. Look that game up and play a certain route, play a certain character. A date could be simple and a date could be grand, but a date is a date. Okay? A coffee date is a date. Like, come on out. Just a few dollars, you know. I see. I'm not sure why, but I feel a little disappointed that this wasn't actually a date. And then you make me feel disappointed because I'm actually enjoying myself. I enjoy your company. Anyway, it's a date, y'all. I don't care what you say. It's a date to me. I don't know if I really wanted to date Elliot. However, the idea of going on a date in general was exciting to me. There hadn't been a lot of opportunities the last few months. Like, it doesn't have to be something super fancy. You don't have to woo me or whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be no 5-star restaurant and like you go like I don't know watch the stars or whatever afterwards. Like, you ain't gotta do all that. My thoughts were interrupted by Sydney, a waitress, returning with our order of food. Are we gonna get some CG of the burger? Here you go, you two. Enjoy. Thank you, Sydney. Elliot begins oh my god, delectably. I want to say delectable. That's what I want to say. Delicately. There we go. Elliot begins delicately cutting up sausage links and lightly salting his hash browns. Meanwhile, a Goliath of a burger stares at me, oozing with cheese and smells faintly of pickles. I feel like I might get heartburn just looking at this burger. The only thing I could compare it to is like a Baconator from Wendy's. And I would still crush it. I would still crush it. But again, it's a diner. So diners, they have wide burgers, y'all. So it's a double stack. I'd still eat it. I still eat it. I would say the biggest one I've seen. Like sometimes you go to the Chinese place and they still sell burgers. Their burgers be wide. Now do that with a double stack. I will still eat it. I'll probably get full towards the end, but I'll probably still finish it. Especially if I'm not doing anything with them after. Then like I'm gonna be full. I'll be stuffed, honey. Yeah, just look at this burger. I did warn you it was big. So I'm curious, and feel free to stop me if it's personal, but do you mind if I ask how you found out? Found out what? Found out your preferences in a partner. Ooh. 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 Well, let me ask the person later that we'll read on. For me, it would not have been something I considered. Like, I would not have, well, okay. Bisexuality history has been ace, straight, gay, bi, and now pan. So currently I'm pan. I was like reading webtoon and I saw someone talk about like one of the characters being like pan romantic and demisexual, and I'm just like, huh. But I'm probably not that. But I just say pan now, and truly because I just don't care anymore. But um, my interest in guys was something that I probably would have never considered if people didn't constantly ask me if I was gay growing up. So it was like every school year someone would ask me, and their only reason is because I was quiet, I didn't talk to anybody, I did my work, and I put my head down. I had a soft voice because I was shy. I was very soft spoken. Um, and that was pretty much it. Like, I didn't act like the other boys. I was always in the group with the girls, but honestly, the teachers put me in the group with the girls because I was like the smartest boy or whatever. But I was just like, I just did my work. That's it. So like that was like why people always ask me. Some students ask me, like some peers ask me in private, some people ask me in public. Don't ask for someone's sexual orientation in public. That is rude because every time that happened to me, the whole class will go quiet and everyone will turn their head towards me, and my answer will always be no. Because I'm not about to get stoned, I'm not about to get strung up, I'm not about to be bullied and be put in the locker because y'all want to know who I prefer to sling it at. Like, fuck you. No, thank you. I'm not going through that. Oppression. Not from black people. I'm not having no black people oppress me. No, thank you. I don't need that trauma. But yeah, it's pretty much like that. Now, as far as other preferences, other than just like which gender I'd be attracted to, and like when I say pan, like yes, that still is inclusive of like trans people, uh, ace people, intersex. Like to for me, it's like because it's like I don't really care about the gender too much. It's then it then becomes other preferences like do I trust you? Like because we do have identities that like other people oppress even as like having an intersectional identity or like I'm pan in the LGBT community, the gays don't like me because I'm not strictly gay. You know, like I'm not gay enough for them or whatever. So that there'll be gays that don't like me. There'll be bi people that don't like me. There'll be straight people that don't like me. Like okay, I feel like I'm tangenting a little bit too much, but my other preferences is like people that I trust. I'm not gonna give a whole stranger the certain level of attention that I would give my friends. I rather date within my circles, and I could have like romantic people or people I'm romantically interested in. There are also people that I'm cool with, that I hang with, that I chill with, that I play games with. You know, that I watch shows with. That I'm nerds. Like, I'm a nerd before I'm a hoe. I'm a foodie before I'm a hoe. And I have all these other interests that if we were to align, then that would be dope. Like you're a way more valuable partner to me than someone I just met, and there's just like this baseline of physical attraction. Like how I came out, sure. Though it's not a very interesting story. Oh, I'll be the judge of that. Everyone's story is interesting in its own way. Well, I didn't really notice until I was about 13. One of my swim team, I think for me, it started like fourth grade. People started asking me, and then I didn't really consider it until middle school. So probably 13, 14 years old. I graduated elementary, sixth grade. So that was 13. So seventh grade, I was like 14. So around that time. One of my swim team buddies pointed out that I kept staring at Coach Milo in his banana hammock. Why is Coach Milo in a banana hammock? Why is Coach Milo in a banana hammock? We're literally entering our phases of like horny time, right? Like things are happening to our bodies and shit, and you're in a banana hammock, sir. Sir, I already have so many questions. You were on the swim team and you had a hot coach that actually wore a banana hammock, right? I never said he was hot. Oh, now I'm confused. Ellen looks at me curiously with a raised eyebrow, and I feel myself forced to relent. Okay, he was pretty good looking, I guess. He only wore it because it reduced drag while swimming. Most swimmers wear them. Okay, so your coach got you all hot and bothered, then what? After that, I guess I just kept noticing guys a bit more, and after a few embarrassing dreams that I won't be sharing, it all just clicked. I told my parents in my junior year of high school. They were both surprisingly supportive. Yay, at least sort of. My mom seemed more excited about being that parent with a gay child as if it meant something huge. I feel that. I don't know, but I sympathize. I don't empathize right now. My dad didn't really seem to care as long as I wasn't bringing boys over. See that part. That part. I don't want to bring no man to the house. I don't. Let me get my own place. Let me get my own place so I don't have to live that part. School was a bit more awkward. Some of the guys on the swim team teased me, but it could have been far worse. Yeah, I can live with just like a tease over oppression. So sounds like you had it better than I had. Okay, cool, 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 cool. What do you mean? I don't. Yeah, are you comfortable with it? My environment was a bit different when I came out. My parents weren't happy about it at all. So, but that's a them problem, and they don't see it that way. That's the issue. Like, go fix your Bible that was tampered with. Okay, like leave me out of it. Additionally, I was pestered about it endlessly at school. I ended up lashing out more than I should have. I don't think even with information that is out today about that topic, I don't think I would have came out at school. Because your sexuality is something that is private at the end of the day. Like it's just nobody's business. It's not information that you just widely share or openly share. You know, like it's not something that you have to actively hide because it's not something that is on site. People may guess, but you're not obligated to confirm or deny. You know, like it's not skin color. Like they're not gonna see you on site and be like, oh, you're gay. Like, no. They could look at 1,001 mannerisms and they could still be dead as wrong. And then they still don't even, just from the fact that they don't even see all the other sexualities as possibilities, um, they invalidate that they even exist. They don't even consider that. It's not their business to begin with. They just want a gay friend, or they just want to throw a rock at you, honey. Or they just want to beat you up, or they want to fuck you. So it's just like, no. And to the ones that want to date somebody, but you don't know their sexuality, don't ask for their sexuality. Ask them to fuck out. Skip that entire step because the last thing you want to do to that person is put them in a spotlight to which now they are being targeted. My mock title in the school yearbook was Angry as Gay. Yeah, because y'all treated him like shit. That's awful. Angry as gay. Like they don't even call someone that. Like that literally means they don't see you as a person. They just see you as a gay. That's it. Elliot nods in understanding, taking another bite out of his sausage from his plate before continuing. That was high school. Things got much better for me after I moved out of my parents' house. Goals, goals, goals. I'm getting a lot of stuff together so I could just focus on that. Got my culinary degree, opened a cafe, met Liam, and Elliot seems to catch himself and starts clearing his throat, but he couldn't take back what he said. Is Liam your ex? Elliot just nods, not the ears. His ears now folded back and his tail lightly thrashing at his side. He's no longer even looking at me. I have to play with a friend later. Oh, it's nighttime. Wait. It's alright. We don't have to talk about it. Elliot lets out a deep sigh before noticing me staring sympathetically at him. He then forces a grin across his face and before changing the subject. Or his face before changing the subject. Sorry, I didn't mean to sour the mood. No, I shouldn't have asked. I don't really have any experience on the subject. What do you mean? Well, I've gone on a couple dates, sure, but I've never really been involved with anyone that seriously. This part gets me. People are like so shocked that like you don't really like get around, even if it's like just romantically, like not sexually. Like we're still friends. Like so for me, like I don't want to put myself out there until I move out. But even then, I will still rarely date, even if it's just flirting. Because again, trust is paramount. It's mandatory. If I put my heart out there and I get hurt, it's not because they're oppressive. It's because whatever other reasons, you know. Really? Never? Unless they really played that long game. Like, oh my god. Like, you had nothing else to do with your life than to ruin mine. Like, oh. Nope, the timing never really worked out. Understandable. High school can be a confusing time, and then afterwards, everyone goes their separate ways. Still, college is a great time to experiment and really find yourself. Spoken like someone who spent a lot of time experimenting. I may have been a bit of a wildcat in my early 20s. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, what's the weirdest thing you did? Oh, whoa. I'm not sure that would be appropriate to share in a public diner like this. Let's just say after a particular summer, I won't be looking at coconut cream pie oh, God. The same way. Oh, oh, oh. Elliot takes the last bite out of his hash brown and lets out a small sigh of content. Okay. Seeing him finish, I realized I've been too wrapped up in a conversation to even start eating. In a rush, I began shoveling. Oh no. That's a lot of food. I began shoveling the food to my mouth to catch up to him while Elliot looks at me flabbergasted. You can take your time. Whoa there, slow down. You don't need to rush. I know, but I don't want to let it get cold. Okay. Even so, we could just get a to go box and you can heat it up later. I mean, I suppose you're not wrong. At least like cut a fourth out if it's that big. Cut a fourth out, eat the fourth, and box the rest up. Besides, we got to get going anyway. I still got a cafe to run. I thought I was your last stop for today. Damn. Let me stop. Elliot gets up to go to the cash register while I pack the leftovers in a styrofoam container. I'd barely gotten more than 2 bites into the giant burger, and I still had plenty of fries. I suppose if I don't eat it, I could offer it to Quinn. However, I'm not sure how he feel about my mouth being on it. He doesn't strike me as a germaphobe, though. It depends. I didn't want. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. If I get demonetized, I don't have monetization anyway. So I was like, I'll probably eat it from the back and leave the part that you bit alone. Okay. Okay. I will eat your fries though. Absolutely. I'm a bit disappointed that the lunch is already over. I feel like there's still so much about Ellie I don't know. I'm a mess today. I'm sorry. I just need to figure out a better way to ask about him, and hopefully not hit any more negative topics like his ex. I feel like, excuse me, to some degree, he shared his life with his ex. So a lot of the more recent things that you want to know about him is probably gonna be somewhat related to him. Like probably not work, but you probably got to get that backstory with his ex to get all that ish out the way, so you know what else you can like figure out about him. You ready to go? Yep, I'm right behind you. Following Elliot out of the diner, we continue our walk back to the cafe. Thanks again for the meal. Yeah, it's getting dark out. It was pretty good despite what little I ate. I'm surprised you tasted any of it with how fast you tried scarfing it down. I didn't think you could fit so much in your mouth while choking. Elliot, sweetie. Hey, I might have neglected my meal for a bit, but I was hungry. Just be sure to temper that appetite, otherwise you end up with a belly like mine. I will eat the fries. That's something I could like idly eat as I talk. There ain't nothing wrong with a belly, by the way. There ain't nothing wrong with it. Oh please, your belly isn't even that big. You're kidding, right? I can't take 2 steps without feeling my stomach jiggle. I should consider going on a diet. Sir! Sir! There ain't nothing wrong with your belly. If you want to, then go ahead. If you want to go on a diet, go ahead. You do you. You do what's best for you. But I am not pressed about your belly, sweetie. Well, I think you look good. Oh, really? Care for them, Mason. I might start thinking you're a chubby chaser. I mean, stop. I mean, I could be every kind of chaser. You don't know. You don't know my business. Oh, damn. Well, if you think, ow. Falling over to my side, I found myself staring up at a huge boar glaring down at me with beady eyes. Watch where you're walking, Brian. Me and my lady are walking here. Oh, oh, oh. This is a big sidewalk, and that was unnecessary. I think you owe my friend an apology. The large boar gives Elliot a once over, then he looks down at me before chuckling. Nah, I don't feel the need to apologize to your type. Oh, don't do it. Elliot, don't. But people like that aren't worth it. Elliot's shoulders relax. Yeah, don't catch a case, sweetie. Like, that's... Mm-mm. We're not gonna go to jail over somebody ignorant. Like, mm-mm. We don't have time for that. We're not on that demon time today. Elliott's shoulders relax, and he sighs while the boy walks away. He looks down at me and helps me up to my feet. Hang on, Elliot turns to look at the boy. I'm not sure what he's doing at first, but then I see something incredible. The boy's sweatpants slip down and he trips onto the sidewalk. The boy begins laughing at his spectacular fall. Elliot, did you snatch this belt or whatever? I look at Elliot only to see him smiling, seemingly content with himself. Did you just? Some people don't get the justice they deserve, and this way nobody was really hurt. Okay. Right, but what if you were caught doing that? Who would know? He wasn't wearing it. Oh, he used his powers. He has telekinesis. He used his telekinesis to pull his sweatpants down so he'll trip and fall. Best character in the game. Who would know? He wasn't wearing a belt. As far as anyone is concerned, that was a completely natural occurrence. Do you often use your abilities like this? Mason, stop asking questions. No, only when I see assholes treating someone I care about poorly. Also, you care about me? Oh my gosh. That's very sweet. But are you sure you should be doing that? If someone finds out, you sound like Zoe. Don't worry so much. I'm very careful about it. Elliot continues to laugh this off, and I want to as well, but that little voice in my head can't stop worrying that this could be a problem. It's the first time. The second and third time where I see that he's actually being more reckless with it, or he's been targeting the same person, that's when I'm gonna be like, okay, sweetie, you pause. Put a pause on that. Maybe he's right, and I'm overthinking this. The average person isn't going to assume physics when their pants fall off. Psychics. Assume psychics. My bad. I was like, physics? Elliot has had his powers for a while now. He likely knows where to draw the line, so I shouldn't be trying to draw it for him. Yeah, just trust him the first time, most definitely. I had a lovely time with you, Mason. We should do it again sometime. Definitely, just let me know when, and it will be a date next time. It looks like Quinn replaced his phone. Okay, good, definitely. Hey gang, got a new phone. I miss talking to you all so much. Okay, fellas, the Concord. Anyway, I should get back to work. I need to make sure nobody burned the kitchen down. Good one. No, seriously. I wish I was joking right now. Oh. If burning the cafe down is a genuine concern, maybe Elliot should be considering firing some of the staff. Yeah, or like designate some of your staff to getting good at running a kitchen. See you around, Mason. Elliot disappears back into the cafe, and I find myself standing outside alone with my leftovers in hand. Thinking about it now, I don't have a fridge in my room or a microwave to reheat this. Maybe Quinn likes cold burgers, right? Like, there's a difference between a cold burger and just like a burger that cooled off. You know, like, I ain't got a fridge, so you just want to like share this burger and fries with me. I end up reluctantly throwing the leftovers away. Not my Mason. Hashtag not my Mason. In a street side trash can. So wasteful. That's bull right there. And we'll pause here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, my name is Franklin. This has been Orgaysis. Next time on Second Connections, we're going to debrief with Quinn about a little date. And he threw that food away. I'm upset. 0 out of 10 stars. You don't waste food here. Like, sir, Quinn most definitely would have ate that burger. Y'all could have got some fries from the cafeteria or something. Just got some ketchup from there and like put it on your fries and just had a ball. But whatever. Especially like you went on your day and you brought me home some food after I got punched in the eye. Like, you bestie, you best friend. Shoot. Anyway, y'all like this video, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. If you like this game, I know I do, and you want to play it for yourself, you can do so via the links down in the description and the comments section. I believe that is all I have to say. Mason, I am disappointed in you. But like, yeah. See you in the next video.